Hello, Acceleration team. Today's training is on time and time blocking. Hopefully you've already had a chance to watch the training I put out Tuesday that was about goal setting. And again, Tuesday we talked about what you want and when you want it. Today we're going to talk about what you're willing to do to get it, okay? Because all three of those things are very, very important. One of the things that we already talked about was our motivation and our why behind why we're involved with the Healthy Living Revolution and Juice Plus as a community is not ever solely financial. A lot of us are involved just because we care about this mission and helping people get healthy. We want the flexibility. We want that helper's high. We want that community. But I do believe strongly that there is always a financial component at play. This is absolutely an opportunity to create a thriving residual income stream. And I really don't want us to minimize what that can do for you and your family. It doesn't make you involved for the wrong reasons at all, because in addition to creating great residual income and financial freedom for our families, we're also helping people get healthy. So for me, there's no more noble a cause than doing what we're doing. But I love the fact that by investing time in our businesses, that we can really, really help protect our families from a time freedom and financial flexibility perspective for the rest of our lives. So one of the things we need to understand is the power of residual income. I'm going to do a whole nother training on that. But one quote that I heard along the way during my journey in Juice Plus was someone in the financial planning world shared with us, the group he was talking to, that once someone truly understands the power of residual income, that they would walk through a brick wall to get to it. And I believe he's right. And we're going to talk about that in another training. But what I want to do with this training is to help you walk through that brick wall, because I think it's really important for all of us to get to that perspective. Now, one of the things that I hear a lot from people, probably the question I get the most from reps that join our team is, and I quote, "How much time do I have to spend in order to be successful?" First and foremost, I like to reframe that, okay? There is a big difference between spending time and investing time. There's also, frankly, a big difference between having to spend time and wanting to invest time, okay? So instead of how much time do I have to spend, I like to reframe it, how much time do I get to invest in order to reap these benefits? I'm going to read to you the different definitions of spend versus invest because I think they're important. To spend means to use up, wear out, or exhaust. And a lot of us are doing that with our time right now if we really take a close look at where we're spending our time during the day. The other word I talked about was invest. That means to commit in order to gain, to devote for future advantage or benefit. Now, I will tell you that by nature, time is limited and therefore it's precious and it is a limited resource. But I will also tell you, as someone who has walked the path to NMD, of all of the things we spend time doing in a day, the time you commit to your Juice Plus business, I personally promise you that it's an investment of your time. It is a commitment in order to gain. It is a devotion of your time for advantage and benefit in the future. There is a huge, huge difference. The other thing I always like to share with people is if national marketing director is on your radar and that's something you want to be, just know that it's not easy, okay? It's not easy, but the good news is it's fun and it's worth it. So it doesn't matter if it's not easy. Nothing worth it in life is easy, frankly. And what we want to do with our time training today is try to help you work smart, not hard. And there is a difference. I still want you working hard, don't get me wrong. But if you're working hard, I want it to be smart. I want the hours to be smart and well spent so that you're investing it in the right way. We also talk about making time. The other thing I want to promise you is that no national marketing director that ever came before you ever had all of these extra hours just sitting around in a day that they had to invest in their business. Every single one of those people made the time every day to invest in that business. And I already said that our time is a limited resource. Last I checked, there's always 24 hours in a day. So how do we make more time? We already do it. We already make time every single day for the things that are important to us. And I say to people right off the bat, if they're having trouble with time, and it's true, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities, right? Because we already, without even really cognitively thinking about it in an over committed process, we do that every day. We make priorities and we spend our time doing the things that are important to us. Exercise is one of those examples, and I used it earlier in the week, so I'm not going to do it again. But we need to be honest with ourselves, guys, in how much time we have. One of the things that is a good practice, I think, whenever you find yourself tending to say, I don't have time, because I have a lot of people in my health coaching practice when it comes to exercise is a big one, or eating healthy. Like, oh, I just wish I had the time to exercise every day. I just don't. Or I just wish I had the time to go get those healthy groceries and cook a healthy meal for my family. I just don't. That's why we do takeout so much. I don't have the time. Try changing that verbiage from I don't have the time to it's just not my priority right now. And that feels really different coming out of your mouth, but it's also the truth, okay? You're making time for what's a priority. So do that with yourself. The next time you feel like there's something you feel like you want, but you don't have time, say to yourself, it's just not my priority right now. And if that doesn't sit right with you, if it is your priority, then we need to find a way to make time for it. I'm going to help you do that. One of the things I did some research on before I did this training was typically what we're doing in a day as Americans, as humans. How are we spending our day? And I realize I'm one of the busiest people I know, okay? So I realize that there are many, many things in a day that we have to get done. I get that. Believe me, I get that. We have to sleep. We have to eat. We should be exercising. In my opinion, we have to exercise. Many people still have to work outside of this business. This is their plan B, and they've still got their day job that they might be working many hours a week. So there are many, many things. I'm a parent of young kids. There are many things. There are sports, there are activities. Tucking them in is a 2-hour process at night. There's many things that must get done in our day. So I took a look at how most people spend their time. So most people spend about 56 hours in a week sleeping, which is a good number. That's a pretty healthy number. So 56 hours in a week sleeping, eating, showering, and hanging out with family. So all the time that you're physically getting ready, you're actually eating, and you're spending that quality time with your family. Most people are committing up to 35 hours a week doing that. I think that's pretty good. Think about it. That's a full-time job, and that doesn't count sleep. So just eating, showering, and family time is 35 hours a week, okay? And then again, a lot of people are still working, and I'm going to use 40 hours as a figure there. I know some people are working more, some are working less. That does not seem like it leaves much time for anything else. But if you do the math, there's 168 hours in a week, okay? 168 hours. We already took out the sleep, the work, the eating, the showering, the family time. That still leaves the average person with 37 hours every single week to pursue their dream, or to squander away on Facebook or online shopping or watching TV. But my point is 37 hours. If you're working full time, you're spending a significant amount of time with your family and eating and showering and getting enough sleep. You've still got 37 hours in the typical week to pursue your dream. Okay. So think about that. And I got involved with Juice Plus about 7 years ago. And for the longest time, I'd been looking for words to put to the business opportunity. As a health coach and somebody that cares so much about health and wellness, you know, like the value proposition of the product was always so easy for me to communicate with people. But it was almost like I couldn't think of language good enough or worthy enough to communicate the value of the business side of this opportunity when I was talking to people. In the last couple of years, we've got the healthy living revolution that talks about the product and shredding and doing all of that. But I finally think they nailed it with one word. They've been talking about the Family Freedom Project as it relates to our business. And I love that. I think that is the perfect way to think of it. So if you've got the average person 37 extra hours sitting around a week, some of that at a minimum, even a fourth of it at a minimum, should be dedicated to your very own Family Freedom Project, because family freedom is priceless. The fact that Sean and I are both home with our kids, And yes, we've worked hard to get here, but has it been worth it? Yes. Has it been fun? Absolutely. I want this freedom for every single person I know and care about. And I won't slow my pace until all the people have said to me that they want that are there, because I know that I can help them get there. So once you're clear on your priorities, and if family freedom is one of yours, it's time to roll up your sleeves. I'm going to do that. Fireplace is on. I'm getting hot anyway. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and we're going to talk about time. The first couple minutes, I'm going to talk about making more time. Then I'm going to talk about a few tips to protecting that time fiercely. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is time blocking. And I'm going to go through these things really, really quickly. So as far as making more time, tip number one, make sure that your family is clear on your goals and your dreams. Make sure your family knows that this Juice Plus business is a family freedom project. One of the things I encourage you to do, and I know my kids did it and we had a lot of fun with it, everyone in the family make their own vision board, okay? If time weren't limited, if health was never failing, if finances weren't restricted, what would your goals and dreams be? What would be on your vision board? What would be on your kids' vision board? Have them do that. Make this a family freedom project, not just your side hustle, okay? Make this a family freedom project, something that you care about that's worth investing in. So tip number one, make sure your family values the time that you're going to invest, because this business is going to change their lives forever. And they need to understand that. Tip number two, this is a little more practical. If you're not online grocery shopping, for the love of all things holy, you should be. I mean, I, as the person that does the meal prep and the shopping in my family, I have shaved about 3 hours a week. I have made 3 hours a week in turning to online grocery shopping. So if you're not doing, look into it. Instacart, wherever it is that you are, that is a tip right there for making more time. Tip number three, the average American spends 3 hours every day watching TV. That's a lot, okay? If the average American took 3 hours a day and invested it in their family freedom project, this country would be in a very different situation than it is right now. So we need to think about that. I often say to people, March 8th of 2015 is when I decided that my time was now to go for National Marketing Director. And I went from senior sales coordinator to National Marketing Director in a 4-month period. And one of the things I did, and I said it to my family, was that I traded in TV for PVC. I stopped watching TV and I've really never gone back. I watch here and there and I do enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy my family freedom. I can tell you that. So think about that. Another big important thing, in my opinion, in our business is to be a good role model. I strongly believe that everyone involved in the healthy living revolution should be exercising most days out of the week. One of the things that I do when I exercise is when I'm listening to recorded calls like this, training, conference calls about the product, people's business stories, anything that's going to build my belief in this product, this business, and myself. Okay. So I use that time when I'm exercising every single day to be listening to things. That gives you a lot of time back too, and it keeps you healthy. Also, another tip, most people, and this isn't everybody, but most people are typically more productive in the morning. One of the things I did a while back is I really shifted my bedtime much earlier. I was a person that used to work a lot at night on my business because I went to National Marketing Director in the years before my kids were in kindergarten, okay? So I was at home with them all day. So I did quite a bit of my time block work in the evenings when they had already gone to bed or during nap time. That is not when I'm most productive. I'm pretty spent. I have started shifting my bedtime to like the kids' bedtime. Last night I was in bed in the 8 o'clock hour, not scared to admit it, but then I get up earlier. And you've got those 1 to 2 uninterrupted hours in the morning that can be priceless. Like a lot of super successful people in the business world will stay late, not because they're not finished, but because that's when everybody else is gone and the emails stop and the phone stops ringing. They've got quiet, uninterrupted time. So think about doing that. Think about shifting your bedtime substantially earlier and getting up an hour or two earlier every day. Tip number 6, say no. This is a hard one and I could train about it forever. Say no. say no in order to say yes. We have got to say no to the things that are not serving us in order to be able to say yes to the things that are. And no is a complete sentence. It's so hard because people think they've got to explain themselves away. I can't come because, and people even make stuff up. People get into little white lies because they feel like they can't just say no. It's okay to say no. I like to say, thank you so much for thinking of me. If people have asked me to do something, I'm really honored. Thank you so much for thinking of me. But my plate is unfortunately filled to the brim right now. Can I get back in touch some other time when some room in my schedule opens up? Some things like that. Just be okay with saying no. It is so, so important. And Linda Gardner, who is my upline in this business, a 75 Club National Marketing Director on her way to 100 Club, she said to me loud and clear when I first started, Kim, I got to say it in her Southern accent. She was like, you've got to stop all this volunteering until you hit National Marketing Director. And I love her for it. She was right. I was way too involved in so many things. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it, because I did, but some of it I was doing just because I felt like I had to. So I started saying no. And let me tell you, it's given me a lot more opportunity to say yes because the business has grown. Number 7, never recreate the wheel. Guys, we have so many amazing resources, not only in this business, but on our team, okay? Don't sit and recreate the wheel. Too many people consider work time with their business sitting in front of the computer, coming up with a flyer or an invitation or this or that. That's not work, guys. In our business, the highest, most impactful activity you can do is conversation. Okay, like less Facebook, more face look. The Facebook stuff is an invitation to a conversation, okay? On the phone, face-to-face, or Zoom. I Zoom all the time with people. All I want to do is Zoom, and a boom. That song is always in my head when I say that. But we need to be really thoughtful about not recreating the wheel. We've got everything we need already. We don't need anything extra. Go to one of the 7 national marketing directors that is helping to coach this acceleration team and ask them for what you need. They'll find it. They'll get it to you. Okay? I can assure you that. If you are, people want to know how much time should I start with? Remember last Tuesday, just on Tuesday, we talked about the 3 wishing wells. Are you looking to cover the cost of your own product? Are you looking to generate some recurring monthly income, say $500 a month? Or are you looking for a new career? Most people start with the middle bucket. My urge to you is, or suggestion to you is, I would try to carve out 1 to 2 hours a day until you're there, and then figure out how much further you're going to go. Now, how long will it take you to get there? We try to get you there in roughly a 3-month period, okay? But try to carve out an hour or 2 a day until you're at the level you want to be from a recurring income perspective, and then reevaluate with your upline where you want to go from there. But that's a good place to start. Again, the high-level activities are the conversations. So I'm going to give you a for example. If you commute every day, if you're in the car for an hour a day, half hour to work, half hour home, use that time to make calls. That's an hour a day right there, just on your commute time, okay? So there's people that are involved with kids' sports, travel soccer. I get it. You want to sit and socialize with the parents there. And once or twice, that's great because you're building those relationships. But I also started sitting to the side and making my calls that I had to do, because when you're sitting at a field 3 hours a week, that's a lot of good opportunity that you can actually have no disruption in the house, okay? One of the things I'm going to want everyone to do is this. Print out a calendar. And I'm going to put it in the comments. I made one here that says investing in my dreams. This is all 7 days of the week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You might have yours go later in the evening. I start the tuck-in time about 8 at night, and it can last for a little while, and I just don't have it in me to work after that. So when we're doing this, you are going to block off those things we already talked about. When are you at your JOB if you still have one? What are the hours that you're sleeping? Typically, what are the hours that you're getting ready or exercising, or, and you're going to block all those off. And then you are going to find that 1 to 2 hours each day that you can commit to your business. Here's why this is important. By blocking off certain hours out of the day dedicated to just one task, being your Juice Plus business, you are protecting not just your time, but your mind. from the myriad of other things that you have going on. You are allowed that sovereign 1 hour. During that time, you are allowed to be focused just on your Juice Plus business. And you should. I'm going to give you 2 hints when it comes to time blocking, and then we're going to talk about how to protect your time. If you spend a good amount of time each day, which I do, answering messages, texts, emails, that sort of thing, time block that. That is not part of your working because you're not having conversations really at that point with people, okay? So time block that. Put a half hour or 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon. Some people that are incredibly busy will even kind of put that in their message or their signature that says, I typically check messages between 4 and 5 p.m. So they know when people expect to hear back from them. But if you do a lot of that, don't do it all day long, because that was my biggest time suck, was responding as soon as something would come through. Now I check my messages twice a day. Just those are the time periods that I check it. Hint number 2, use time blocking, what we're going to do right here, to balance necessary planning with actual work. There is a big difference, and I want everyone to understand it. Planning is important, and allow time for that. Put a time block in for that, but a block. So I went to a Kurt Beavers boot camp, 6 years ago or so, and his theme, and I loved it, was ready, fire, aim. We've all heard ready, aim, fire. His was ready, fire, aim. Because he said, and he's right, too many people do ready, aim, 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 aim. They spend their whole life getting ready to have the conversation instead of just having the conversation, okay? And at the very end, I've got 1 or 2 quotes on success, and one of them addresses that. So as we're time blocking, once we decide what's the 1 to 2 hours, and you know what? If you want NMD and you can find 4 hours a day, great, put it on there. If you can truly only find 1 hour a day right now, fine, that's great, but put it on here. Find the time each and every day of the week that you're going to do. It doesn't have to be the same time every day, but a lot of us have a weekly rhythm when it comes to our life. So put that on there. How to protect our time. First and foremost, be unapologetic about protecting your time. Be open with your schedule when it comes to your friends and families, because in order for your schedule to work, they're going to have to learn to respect it. Okay. So it's really important that friends and family understand that this is a business, that you're taking it very seriously, and you're investing your time wisely. Do one thing at a time and finish it. We cannot multitask. I'm sorry. So many people think they can. We can't. We cannot effectively do it. The most important thing we can do from a productivity standpoint is when we start something, finish it before we move on to something else. I will also say that one of the more important strategies is to do the harder or the task that we find the most challenging first. Eat the frog, as they say. Do that first, the harder things first, and then save the stuff you find more fun or creative or take a little less energy till later in the day, or times that don't require quite as much energy of you, okay? We must practice shutting down distractions. Put your phone on vibrate, turn off all of your notifications, your social media, your email, all of it. Turn it off. I put my phone in the other room. At a minimum, I put it face down so I don't see things lighting up. But oftentimes I even put it in the other room. There are at least 2 times a day that I'm checking messages and can get back to people. But if I were checking a message every time it came through when I was in the middle of doing something, I wouldn't get anything done. So that's going to be a really, really important thing to do. Go to a quiet area in your home. This is a home-based business. Or better yet, leave your house. Because to me, there's laundry. There's the dishwasher that needs to be emptied. There's a lot of other things that matter, but not as much as my Family Freedom Project. I have a great name for the clean laundry. It's clean, but if it's not hung up yet, it's called a floordrobe instead of a wardrobe. And it's fine. It allows me to invest a little more time in our Family Freedom Project, which is one of the most important things to my family and I, okay? So if you must leave your house to remain focused, do it. Go to a Starbucks, go somewhere, because you'll probably meet someone too, which is another great way to have a conversation. Have those calls out of the house so you're not distracted. Or even walk outside, walk into an area of your house that's not going to be a distraction. Also, schedule 1 empty block each day for flexibility. Okay, so those things that just come up. So I would schedule as you're time blocking and you've got sleep and exercise and dinner and work and all of those things, schedule a half hour or so in a day for just flexibility, for stuff happens or whatever you want to call it, okay? The other thing is, please commit to your time block routine for at least a month, because it is going to feel, and I promise you this, it's going to feel overly rigid at first. It's going to feel ridiculously rigid, but after 30 days, you're going to be in a rhythm and you'll be able to get a good gauge then if this is helping your productivity. So what should we be planning for? And this is where I'm wrapping it up. I'm sorry if this got a little long. What things should be on here during that 1 to 2 hours a day that we're trying to dedicate to our business? I have 8 things that I always have in my time blocks. They are planning, and I don't have that every day. I like to do that once a week. Sometimes I do it twice a week, but once a week I will sit down and plan for the week. Planning. Number 2, reaching out to new potential customers, people you have not yet had that Juice Plus conversation with at all. Number 3, closing the loop on anyone we have already had Juice Plus conversations with, and we're moving them to the next step. Hopefully that means getting their family started on this health habit. Number 4, customer care. Okay, so planning, and then there's 3 things I do with customers: brand new conversations, follow-up conversations to move to the next step, and customer care. The next 3 are distributor activities. They are reaching out to brand new potential team members. As you can imagine, the next one is closing the loop on any conversations I've had with potential team members to move them to the next step, hopefully joining our mission. And then distributor care. So maybe you're doing a 3-way call with your rep to go over goals, to go over what they need for their next step, to have an event with them, okay? So planning, 3 different customer activities, 3 different rep or team activities, and then the last one is personal development. I think of personal development as anything that's helping you build your belief in those 3 areas: our products, our business, or yourself. And remember, we talked about Tuesday, the best way to build belief in yourself is to say you're going to do something and do it. So let's set these goals. Let's block our time off. Let's fiercely protect our time. During the time, let's spend having those real conversations and not making new flyers and recreating the wheel. I have a couple people, we're going to do a DMO, which is daily method of operation training, in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, one way a lot of people do it is if it's a customer day, they might focus on customers, but they might do a 2x2x2, I call it. So 2 brand new conversations, 2 follow-up conversations to take someone to the next step, and then 2 customer care calls. And then maybe your next day, that hour you're spending is dedicated to the business. So two calls to brand new people to say, I thought of you because I really want to involve you in this healthy living revolution. 2 follow-up calls, and then 2 distributor care calls. Okay, so some people break it down that way. We're going to help you develop a DMO, daily method of operation, that works for you inside of your time blocking. I'm going to leave you with 3 or 4 quotes on success that I really like, because they kind of all have to do with time, and that's what we're talking about today. So success is the sum of small efforts repeated diligently day in and day out. Very true. Action is the foundational key to all success. Yes. This next one somebody said 2 conferences ago, some guy from either the UK or Australia, and I loved it. He said, doubt takes us out of action, right? When we're kind of doubting ourselves. But action takes us out of doubt. So when in doubt, do something, act, right? This is one I was talking about earlier. The key to success is to start before you're ready. If we wait till we're ready, we'll never start, okay? We're never really ready to be a parent. We're never really ready to be, a business owner. Start before you're ready, okay? We've got everything we need. You have all the support you need. I promise you that. In all of your amazing uplines and our corporate support, you have everything you need today. Even if today is your first day as a business owner, everything you need, you already have to get started and be successful. Almost every successful person begins with 2 beliefs, and they are: the future can be even better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. Once again, your future can be better than it already is, and you do have the power to make it so. You've got the business model right at your fingertips and all the support in the world to help you get there. Lastly, but not least, I love this final statement, and I kind of think it to myself as a little mantra when I wake up in the morning. You did not wake up today to be mediocre. And I will leave you with that because I think it's a really, really great mindset. And I think it all the time. I did not wake up today to be mediocre. So I am going to give it my all. And when I put my head on the pillow, my head's on the pillow. One last thing, when you're giving it your all, you want to be focused on that. I truly believe I start my day saying, please God, help me be the best mom I can be. Help me be the best wife I can be, the best friend I can be, the best sister I can be, the best daughter I can be, the best business leader I can be. I ask for all of those things, okay? But let me tell you, like when I am mothering in that moment, I am mothering, right? Because I time block. When I am doing my Juice Plus business, I am in that moment. I am living my Juice Plus moment. So it's easy to think we can live this business in stolen moments and we can do it fragmented here and there. But I'm telling you, the best way to be effective is to time block, to figure out exactly which time of day you're going to dedicate to this business. You will feel it naturally and organically spilling over into every parts of your life. I get that. But for those hours a day that you dedicate, fiercely protect them, make it non-negotiable, be unapologetic about how and why you're investing your time. You're worth it. You didn't wake up to be mediocre. I hope you found this training worthwhile, and I look forward to the next one. Goodbye, A-Team. Have a great day.